Hi, my name is Tamara, and this is Things Even a Monkey Should Know. Some of you may know me as an artist, and thanks to making art and living with a monkey, I have gained many self-reliant skills. My hope is to pass some of this knowledge along to you, so that whether you live by yourself or with a monkey, you have the confidence you can tackle any need that arises. Now, if you notice, today it's a little windy out here and cold. So I've noticed that there's been some air coming into the house around my windows. So today I'm going to show you how to caulk windows and seal that heat into your house. So as you can see, there's a lot of opportunities for air to come in my windows and make it cold in the house. And I could not have picked a worse day to do this because it is cold and windy out here. Okay, things that you're going to need this time. As almost always, you're going to need a scraper. You'll find that I use my scraper just about every time I do anything. It's such a handy tool. You're going to need to have a utility knife, preferably one that's sharp, otherwise it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Going to need a rag, of course. You're going to need a caulk gun, and you're going to need a tube of caulk. Now, they come in all different brands. This is the brand that I've really had good luck with and that I like. You want to make sure that it says that it's for windows and doors, and this is really important if you're doing your caulking outside like I am. You want to make sure it says outdoors on it, or exterior, doesn't matter. Mine is white. They come in almond, clear, probably some other colors too. I'll tell you, I've never had good luck with the clear in any brand. It pretty much yellows within a couple months, so that's just something to keep in mind. It does not look pretty very long. But I've had pretty good luck with the colored ones. The only other thing that you'll need is a water hose with a sprayer on the end. Maybe if your windows are really dirty, you might need a scrub brush, but generally a water hose with a sprayer will do it. Now the very first thing that you want to do is you want to clean your windows. That doesn't mean you have to go around and scrub them. You at least need to spray them off really good with a good, pretty high-powered water so that you can get off all the excess grunge, because new caulk, well, you don't want to get dirt and junk stuck in it, and besides it won't stick to dirt so well as it will to just straight paint. Now let's let that dry for a while. Now, one of the first things that you want to do is get the old caulk out of your windows. Now, I waited to do this till after I had sprayed them because you don't want water to get into your cracks that you've just exposed to. But we want to get the old caulk off because the new caulk won't stick quite as well if you have old caulk still on there. Besides, if your old caulk is peeling, then the new is going to peel right off with it. So I have a scraper to get mine off. They also sell this neat little tool that you can shove into the corners of the windows that scrapes the caulk out. I found that a scraper is actually just as easy and effective. Now I have got a ton of windows, so I'm not going to make you watch me do all of them, but why don't you go do yours while I finish up mine. Okay, I hope you know how dedicated I am to be out here, and I'm freezing my butt off to show you how to caulk these windows. They need to be done anyways, but just so you know how much I really like you guys. Now, I have out here my caulk, and when caulk comes in the tube, it comes with this little tip where it's closed so that, of course, so it doesn't dry out, right? So first thing you need to do is get this tip off. Now, you don't want to just cut it off straight. It makes it a lot easier if you have one of these knives, a utility knife, and you just slice it off at an angle. Apparently my knife is not very sharp. Okay, I'm going to do this on the ground. Do it however is best. Make sure that you have a sharp knife for this. There we go. So you get it off at an angle. Makes it easier to put the caulk out in the way that you want. Now, but the thing is that it still has a little seal on the inside. So most of your caulk guns are going to come with a little thing on them to poke down in here, and it pokes and just breaks that seal. See how there's, I don't know if you can see it, there's white caulk on the end now, and that way your caulk comes out. Now the way these guns work generally is, of course, this is the little trigger. You punch this little thing on the back anytime that you want to pull out this rod and then you slide your caulk in there and you just squeeze your trigger until your end gets up into the end of your caulk tube. Okay, so, oh gross, so I already got caulk on me. That was fast. So I'm going to get a close-up to show you what happens when you caulk. So we're up in the corner here, and now to make the caulk flow, you have to, first of all, you have to hit the trigger on the gun. Okay, so I want to get up in the very corner, and you just want to give a nice even flow, a nice even bead there, and just get it in that corner, get it in that crack as best you can, just with a nice even flow. Now I think I'm out of the corner now, so to stop your caulk, you hit this little button on the back, and then that makes it stop coming out. Some caulk guns will have an automatic flow stop thing, but most of them don't. Most of them you have to hit that little button. So there are mixed feelings about what to do with that bead whenever you get it in there. You know, some people say just to leave it. I like for it to be a nice smooth line, and so yes, I have to admit I use my finger to just go ahead and smooth it out and make sure it's shoved into the hole. Again, there's mixed feelings on this in the caulking community, but I feel like that's the best way to get it in there. Get everything sealed tight, make sure the caulk is shoved into that crack as best as you possibly can. Let's just go ahead and look at another one. Going across the top of that window. Again, I'm just putting a steady pressure on my trigger so that I keep a nice even bead coming out the tip of that caulk. Now see, this is where the reason why you cut your caulk tube at an angle makes it come out a whole lot smoother, a whole lot better. And even though this is a pretty good, pretty smooth bead, I'm still going to go ahead and just smooth it with my finger. You can use anything to smooth it with. If you have a little rubber spatula or anything like that, you could also put a glove on. Personally, I don't like using gloves because they wind up just getting all sticky and get in the way, and my finger's real easy to wipe off on my rag that I've got down here with me too. If your caulk gun happens to get kind of gooped up at the end, you can always wipe the excess caulk off on your rag. That's why you keep your rag around, right? So I've almost got half the window done. And I don't know if you've noticed, you probably have, but the prep for doing the caulking takes a lot longer than the actual caulking itself. I think that's usually the case with most improvements. Okay, so now I've got the bottom done, the top done, one side done. I know how much everybody likes to be entertained, so let's just speed this up a little bit and see how fast I can really get these windows done. My caulk already ran out. What to do now? Well, the first thing is, the way to get it out of the holder is to hit this little button, remember? Pull this bar back and your caulk comes right out. Now, if you're wondering how far this caulk goes, these windows are about 6 feet tall by about 24 inches wide, and I've done, let me count, and I've done 6.5 of them. So you do the math, but that gives you an idea of how far one tube of caulk will go. have fun? I had fun, even though it was cold and windy here. I hope maybe you did this in a little bit warmer conditions. But hey, either way, I feel so much better knowing that my house is better protected from wind and rain and bugs can't slide in around the windows anymore. You know, and all it took was a little bit of time and a few dollars, and I probably saved myself hundreds. So I hope that you saw how easy this actually was to do, and that really the prep time took a lot longer than doing the actual caulking. So even better, I guess. Anyway, I hope that you'll come back next time whenever we can find something else that's touted as hard and make it easy. And if you like what you've been seeing, I hope maybe you'll subscribe to my channel on YouTube and share me with your friends. Thanks. Monkey, I've got a little fire started in the fireplace. Now, I want to keep it small today, so you can have a little kindling, but don't add too much. Keep it small.